know what it is? This is Trust the Process Season 3, and I'm here with the incredible R&B pop singer and songwriter, Aishvan. How's it going today, man?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. We got a great interview planned, so let's hop right into it today. To start things off, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I am like Kyle said, I'm an R&B pop singer from Missisauga, Ontario. I'm 19 years old, and yeah, I make music from my bedroom.
That's the vibes, yo.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I did a little bit of stalking on your Spotify pages and socials. I hope you don't mind. I hope I didn't like any old posts by accident. But I noticed that you started singing at 3 years old. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I enrolled in Carnatic music. Well, my mom enrolled me in Carnatic music classes at like 3 years old. And I did that for about 15 years of my life. And through that, I just kind of learned technique, and I'm here being the singer today.
Started at 3. When was your first single out officially?
It was 2018. So I think I put it out on YouTube in April of 2018, and then I found out how to put it on like Spotify and stuff. So that was July.
Cool. And it's called Completely Incomplete?
Yes.
Nice. So tell us about the message behind that one. I'm sure it's a special song, being your first song.
Yeah. I actually wrote that song. Well, wrote it meaning like a poem. Back in 2017, 16, when I was, going through some stuff, and like that song means a lot to me, obviously because I put it out as my first single, and also just because it kind of reflected where I was in my life at that point, and also where I observed other people were in their lives. And that's what I do a lot in my music. I tend to write about myself a lot, but I also write about what my friends are going through, and kind of giving them a song they can go to in like tough times and stuff. And Complete Incomplete was like a compilation of all of that, and so it's really special to me. And one of my collaborators, Jat, still makes fun of me for it every single time we talk.
Makes fun of you for it? What's
in the
going
best
on?
way in the best way.
I feel like a lot of songwriters write about their experiences, but the fact that you're kind of drawing energy or inspiration from your friends around you, I think is really unique and very cool. Yeah. So you put this first song, you figured out how to put it on streaming services. I wanted to ask you about that. Like, how was the learning curve as a new artist, finding out how to navigate yourself through the industry?
I literally had no one to look at that point. I had never met anyone that I know now. None of my family or friends were into that kind of stuff. And so I was like, there's a bunch of artists that I like that are huge mainstream artists, and they have their stuff on Spotify, and it can't be that hard. So I did a huge Google deep dive one night and found this one website called Rootno, and you just kind of put your stuff on there and they do it for you, and they just put it on all streaming platforms for you. And I was like, bet, and I just did it. And since then, I learned so much. I've made the switch to another distributing website, and learned a lot about promoting from that deep dive, and just many more deep dives from there. And it was a huge leap process. It was a learning thing. It could have gone terribly wrong. I could have gotten scammed or something, but I took that risk, and I think that's something I'm still proud of today for doing.
Absolutely, yeah. The fact that you kind of went about it yourself, you're kind of the pioneer for your group of people that kind of figured out how to do it. So that's really cool. And I think it's important because a lot of people are starting out today, and it's there's so much coming at you, as you mentioned, the promotion, how do I promote a song, how do I get it out here? It's a lot for sure.
And I know my Instagram followers are just annoyed I gotta go on my story. But that's a promotion, it's in their head every day. And so it's exactly what you were saying.
No, for sure. Yeah. Every time I post a story, I'm like, yo guys, I'm sorry, but I gotta promote the song, what it is. But I you gotta do it like that sometimes, for sure.
It'd be like that.
No, for real, it definitely do be like that. I wanted to ask you, kind of take a deep dive on this point and ask you about your artist brand. From what I get, it's a very authentic, very true to you type of brand, which I really appreciate in the age of internet clout and personalities. So I wanted to ask you, do you think it's important to keep your artist brand as authentic as possible? Why or why not?
To me, it was important because I deal with stuff on the daily, and music is that one place where I can go and I can just kind of trauma dump into my music. But it's different for everyone, obviously. So some people want to reach those audiences at the masses, and of course I do too, but like they want to reach it faster, and they want to reach it to they want to reach it in 6 months so they can talk about the things that they want to at a massive level. And the one thing I will say is that it's important that you don't make your artist brand just about fame and clout, because at the end of the day, when you do get that fame and that clout, but you're talking about things that you don't stand for, or you're talking about things that you don't really care for in the first place, it doesn't feel right, and you're gonna hate your job, you're gonna hate your life at that point. So yeah,
that's a good point right there. For sure, because it's like time and time again you see people, it's easy to want to gravitate, I think, to certain themes in the music and certain ideologies because that's what's popping, but I think it takes incredible integrity to stay true to who you are, and I appreciate that for sure.
Thank you. Yeah.
So what do you think? I want to kind of touch on your songwriting process. I know you mentioned you draw energy from your friends and your personal experience. You trauma dump a little bit as well.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. So would you say you're someone that's always in the studio writing and recording, or is it something that, what's your songwriting process like in a little bit more detail? I'm curious.
Well, actually, this is a pretty good question, and to a kind of zoom into my life a little bit, because when I started songwriting officially, after Complete Being Complete came out, it came out pretty easily. It came pretty easily out of me. I would literally just be studying, and then I'd have a lyric in my head and I just write an entire song there. Yeah. And in 2020, when everything went down, I went through a lot of personal struggles, and I had a lot of self-realization. And through all of that, I was having major writer's block. I couldn't write for my life. It was terrible. I felt defeated, and I had to realize that there was a lot more that I had to think of, because everything, for instance, I have a project out called Dark Euphoria, and that project it was about my life, but I don't think I was being as authentic as I wanted to be, especially on a project as big as that, for me, as long as that. Mm-hmm. So I had to really look into my mindset, my headspace, and figure out a lot of stuff before I could even put it into music, because at that point I turned music into sort of a distraction away from all of these issues that I've had. So now my songwriting process is, am I masking anything? Am I using songwriting as an excuse to distract myself from the real issues that I need to actually talk to someone about? And if that's not the case, then I go forth with it. And that's in terms of actually songwriting, getting back to your point, I it's the same process as before, in terms of I get inspiration by a beat that a producer sends me, or something I watch on a show, or something that's actively happening in my life or my friend's life, and I have literally one lyric that pops up in my head, and I can write an entire song about it.
Wow, that's pretty dope. Thank you for sharing that, especially during that period of your life back in 2020, when I think shit was just hitting the fan. Mind my language there a little bit, but thank you for sharing that. And I think it's a really important point for anybody going through some sort of writer's block to just kind of check your intentions, check why you're doing this, what are you saying. I think is really important. And it's people don't think of that because they think of the business side, but it's such a personal form of communication, such a personal art. So I really like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's so important for, especially I know I'm not Ariana Grande. I get 14 monthly listeners, and I'm that's the shit. Yes, but even as a super small artist, it's important, I feel for people to talk about these things and talk about like the mental health aspect of it, or the like something beyond the promotion, something beyond this is my song, listen to it, that's it. Like I feel like there should be personality behind some of these things as well, and it's important for all of us to talk about it.
I want to talk more about your music, because I know
Yes.
you took a break there, but now like I'm seeing a lot of releases popping up. Very exciting.
Yeah.
I wanted to start with I Gotta Go. I was listening to that right before starting the Zoom meeting, just vibing out.
Thank you.
Yeah, so tell me about that and how that came together.
Yeah, so my friend and producer OG actually sent me a reference like on YouTube, and he was like, do you want to do a song like this? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. And he sent me a beat, and it was for his project. It was for I think he was doing an EP or something at that point. And I had actually gone through a pretty big like anxiety attack right as he sent me that beat. And so I just come down from the anxiety attack, and I opened the beat, and it was one of those instances where there was one lyric that came to my head, which is, that's why I keep my system closed, the first line. And I wrote to that beat, and it became it became my most personal song at that point that I had written. And I just recorded it I recorded it in like an hour. I was like, I'm just getting this out now. And I sent it back to him, and like I really hadn't heard of it for like about 2 months. And then I asked him, like, are you going to use that? Like, are you going to use I Gotta Go? And he said, no, you can have it. And he was going in a different direction with this like project. So I was like, I gotta have it. Like, there's no way I'm letting this go. And I sat on it from January to August. So that's like 8 months. I sat on it for 8 months. Yeah. I had Kin on it. We originally wanted Kin on it when it was OG's song as well. But Kin elevates every song that he does. So I needed him on it, and he sent me this dope ass verse, and it all came together pretty like seamlessly. And when it released in August, it was like, wow, like this song is special. And if I go on in my career to do big things, then this is a song I'm definitely performing no matter what.
Yeah. Wow, 8 months. That's quite the hold. I feel like most artists would forget about a song. Like, I don't know what the hell I was making 8 months ago, you know? That's impressive. Yeah. If you could share one key piece of advice, this is my favorite question. If you could share one key piece of advice to someone today that wants to start songwriting, start singing, and become an R&B singer-songwriter, what would be your key piece of advice for them?
Well, I would say that no matter how defeated you feel, or no matter how, even on those days where you feel like you don't have what it takes, you do. And you just have to dig deeper and just sit in the uncomfort as much as possible to be the best version of yourself as an artist, and even as a person, but like in terms of this, an artist. And some of your best work comes from that. Some of your most authentic, your favorite work comes from that. And practice is the most important thing you need to do. Practice songwriting, practice singing, practice, doing those Google deep dives and learning things. And it's really important to do that. So just don't give up and be persistent on what you believe.
They're the wise words from Aishvan. Thank you so much, man, for stopping by this virtual studio. It's been an awesome interview. And,
of course. Thank you for having me.
Hey, of course. Let them know. Yo.
It's my first interview, and it's here now. We're here.
This is your first interview?
Yeah, ever.
Well, it's an honor to interview you before you pop off, and then you'd be charging people like, I don't know, racks to get that interview. So thank you.
Yeah.
Let them know where they can find you, plug your socials and everything.
Oh, for sure. It's my name, Aishvan, Aishvan, on Instagram. I'm on Twitter too, on Spotify. Everything's the same. It's my name, and got a new EP coming out really soon, so stay tuned for that. Exclusive.
Yo. Oh, you heard it here first. Yo, now I know what to put on the Instagram snippet. New EP. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I see you, bro. I see you.
Yeah.
Well, you know what this is? Season 3, Trust the Process. We'll catch you next week.
See ya.